And we're back. It's good to see you again. You know, this is an amazing way to teach the business and to get together. And by the way, I do get a list of everybody who attended class and I look at it. So if you don't attend any classes, you better earn a lot of money or you're going to fail the course, right? Right. But I hope you're happy. I hope you're having fun. A lot of people are growing more than ever. It's amazing how a problem like this can cause discoveries. We're actually discovering faster ways to build the business. And I can already envision when we're able to mix that with actually meeting after kind of priming the pump and getting things going, we're going to have some amazing things happen. There's people that are hitting levels that never hit them before, and there's people that hit levels that are regaining the level consistently and growing. So it's really been exciting. So, you know, I just spent a couple minutes because FaceTime Live lags behind Zoom. You know, we're learning a lot of things, so everybody should be on by now. A few opening remarks or comments that you may benefit from before I actually get into the lesson. This is really designed or formatted as a course or a series of lessons. You know, I know that you love coming on and seeing me sit here talking, as good looking as I am, but that's really not the purpose of it. The purpose is to teach and for you to learn and to have things that you may never have realized or been exposed to, make the light bulb go off, because this is how I have built the business over and over again, and this works. So it's formatted as a course. I want to make sure you understand that, and you can go back to it. The evaluation method, qualifying into trial runs, an ABC pattern, creating imprinting is my main theme. Because if you do that, everything else will happen. And it's usually the thing that's lacking for most people. You know, I'll say it again. I said it last time. Most of you really believe. You're really dedicated. You try. And that's not what's missing. What's missing is getting people to lead to people. Because if you had the right people, you would already be making six figures. So I'm trying to give you that magic potion so that you can experience the success that you really deserve. Okay, so that's what we're teaching. And I like to call it becoming a hopeless success, because if you do this, even if you don't know what you're doing, and you do it with a team and a senior partner, it results in you making it. So it resulted in you becoming a hopeless success. You can't help yourself. It just happens. And that's why we all know people that got lucky in the business. Yeah, they got lucky because somehow this happened. The people didn't drop out of the sky. Somehow, accidentally or on purpose or from a leader, they got people leading to people and found the right people. And this method always ends up leading to the right people. So that solves it for you. We actually walk you through what to say, provide scripts. We answer the questions that frequently come up. We teach you how to handle objections. We actually go through it, you know, and role play it out. So these are very valuable things. If you really want to grow, this course is really at the heart of the matter. So handling preconceived notions and stereotypical notions, misconceptions, ignorance, sarcasm, how to handle it, MLM or network marketing, interpreting what we are for one of those things. That's what I'm going to really deal with tonight, and there's going to be 3 sessions on it, because I think it's the most frequent thing that people run into that kind of, you know, causes them to stumble for a minute. So to really do this right, it's a very complex subject. So I'm going to give you on the surface things that can be said or things that'll control it. But if you really want to be able to go the whole 100 yards in this, you need to be able to talk to people that are in those businesses. It's a gold mine because they can't come close to what we have. So you can sign up for the Binomial Unfranchised Manifesto training. This goes into great depth, and it makes you an engineer at the business. It teaches you how to compare the plans and deal with the people in those deals. It makes you an expert on the subject, and you are dangerous at that point. So when someone says, oh, is it one of those? Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Who do you know in one of those? Because it can mean a lot of money to you. We have to save them. So the final series, after we go through the handling network marketing or MLM or preconceived notions that people have, the final series is on programming the brain to guarantee success. The law of creation, manifestation, materialization. It includes goal setting and action plans. And it's amazing what it does. It's difficult to believe until you experience it. And when the things that you want in life and the business rises to the level to give them to you, you then become a believer. But if you don't try it, you'll never know. You got everything to gain and nothing to lose. So we'll be going into that. These sessions are designed to use, to go back to review, and most importantly, to teach your team. You can get your team together and do corings with these things. The PowerPoints are instructive. They outline what I say. They're almost verbatim. So there they are. You got the whole script of the lesson. So the content lessons are on demand. You can access them on UnFranchise. I see who goes to them. That tells me, hey, this person really wants to grow. So beyond that, we can't get into your mind and experience what you experience. There's 1,000 different variables of what happens when you build the business. So your questions and what you need to know or what you want to know are extremely important to us. I mean, listen, friends, I love the business and I love you, but I don't do this for my health. This is a lot of work. It takes time. I'm passionate about it, but I don't want to talk about what I want to talk about. I need to know what you need, what you're experiencing, what would help you, and submit it. If you do that, Elizabeth Weber and I are going to do a session on coaching you, on taking the things that you come up and combining the evaluation method, that I teach, that she does, and combine it with the Zoom techniques that she's mastered, and how to handle any situation that you come up on. So you can send in those questions. Now get ready for this. The Kate B. Kate B. B as in boy, Kate B. All one word, about marketamerica.com. At marketamerica.com. So if you send it in, we will make sure that those questions are on the agenda to answer. Is that fair enough?
Yes.
So let's go dive into the lesson, see how far we get today. Okay, so the big question that comes up is it one of those? It seems too good to be true. They see you all excited, and it's really, you have to be prepared for it. Sometimes it doesn't come up if you do it right, if you follow what I show you, but sometimes it does come up. So why would someone confuse? First, before I get into how to handle it, you have to understand the playing field. You have to understand that most people have no idea why they're saying what they're saying. It's just a response because they heard something, once. And they have this impression or their preconceived stereotypical notion that's totally unfounded. And it doesn't take much to dissolve it. But if you don't know what to say and you let it go on, then you're at a disadvantage. I hope that makes sense to you. So why would someone confuse the unfranchised business with MLM or network marketing? Well, look, it doesn't have or pay on levels. Multi-level means there's multiple levels of distribution and multiple levels in the pay plan on what those levels produce in order to get paid, right?
Yes.
That's what it means. Okay. It doesn't, we don't have any levels. I don't know if you figured this out. Our system is a tracking system that accumulates volume to a point where you'll get paid 6 figures. That's the bottom line. It doesn't have any levels. Who's on the 5th level, 10th level, 100th level? There are no levels. It searches to infinity. So get straight in your mind that this doesn't apply to us. They're talking about a different world. Okay, so it doesn't require sponsoring people horizontally and width to be profitable, where they're all in competition with each other. Nobody has any mutual benefit. It's a dog-eat-dog, competition, and it must be duplicated layer after layer after layer in width or horizontally in order to have people stay in so that they're profitable. So it ends up requiring too many people and too much volume for any one individual to make money. And there's a lot of fallout. So they leave a trail of destruction behind them. I don't know how many average people can do that. Now, there are people that make money that rise to the top. You can make money at anything, but can you do it? Can the average person do it? That's the question. I don't know. It doesn't seem like that's been the case, and that's why there's a lot of people that frown upon it. But that's not us. We are the solution to that. We're the opposite of that. So it actually is antithesis and solves the repeated problems of MLM and network marketing. And that's why I get a little, I'm going to use the word pissed off when people have that notion. Yeah. I don't get angry. I don't get hurt. I get pissed off. What do you mean multi-level? How can you even think this? So I don't let them get very far with it. If you do back up and let them get away with it and hold it in your mind, or you think they think that, you're not going to do well. You have to dissolve it. You have to get rid of it right up front. So understand how this company got founded. I was in the industry. Getting into my late 20s, I couldn't go back to law school or change professions. I was in deeper than I could get out. I had made quite a bit of money, but the problems were there. And so I set out on a mission to redefine it, to identify the problems and address them so that it would work for the average person. I had a big belief that there needed to be a grassroots level opportunity for the average person to be an entrepreneur and to be able to control their destiny. So I identified the repeating problems that are addressed and solved with the binomial system and the UnFranchise Business and the MPCP tracking system. And if you know those, I think it empowers you to speak with conviction, clarity, logic, and to be very convincing. So let's just start from the top, making it real simple at a very high level. The UnFranchise MPCP is diabolically different and better than MLM. The only similarity is that they both involve recruiting or networking with people. And any business model involves that. You need employees, you need customers, you need connections, you need suppliers. So there is no business model that does not have that aspect to it. You can't sit in an office at home with no customers, no people, no employees and make big money, period. Are we clear on that? Are we agree on that, you see? So the more you look and understand, the greater the difference will be. So to make $2,000 to $5,000 a month, which for me is a threshold, that's where somebody can afford to pay attention. That's enough income for some people to go full time. But to do that, understand this now. You need 10 to 20 organizations or people with people in MLM versus just 2 in the UnFranchise binomial MPCP. You choose then, which is better. I mean, right there, they lose. It's over, you see? So it looks similar, but works opposite in different directions. And one, you need to have a lot of people in order to be profitable directly off of you. And ours is all vertical. You only need 2 lines, which is very realistic. In fact, it's been proven statistically to be what average people can and do. So it looks similar, but it works opposite in different directions, with the unfranchised business being 4 to 6 times more profitable and stable on the same volume. And we can prove that mathematically. So know in your mind that the unfranchised binomial system on one side and the multi-level marketing network marketing system on the other side are the opposite sides of the coin. Heads, you win; tails, they lose. And you're on the head side. So does that make sense to you? So this is a course in education to enable you to fully understand the MLM and network marketing models in order to intelligently explain the differences of binomial, MPCP, and unfranchised marketing. That is the franchise manifesto, which goes into the logic, how it was built, and it covers every aspect of it, the mathematics, the dynamics of why this is solid and how it's different and why it solves the problems of other programs. And it goes into the genesis of the Market America unfranchised business opportunity, which is important because if you understand how this came about, how it evolved, how the light bulb came on and it just made sense, then I think it starts to become something that you not only really believe in, but that you communicate because you got it. See, if you don't really get it and understand and have a conviction about it, it's going to be difficult to communicate with other people. So this goes into how it's the answer and solution to the industry's problems, the evolution of a hybrid model. It differentiates it from the opportunities and gives it the competitive edge, why it is much more profitable. So the Unfranchised Binomial Manifesto is a document and a series that exists. We've redone it, and we're going to have a course on it. So if you want to go and get your PhD piled high and deep on this and be an expert, we're going to provide it to you. That's what's necessary in order to talk to these people. But you're going to run into people that know them, and you can harvest them, bring them back to somebody that knows what to do. And in many cases, it's going to end up being a big win for you. So I like to start with the movie story example. We'll go into it in a minute. But how this company really got off the ground was I was talking to Lauren about how people hate to be sold but they love to buy. And that the current marketing methods out there just don't make any sense. I mean, in mass marketing, you need hundreds of millions of dollars to brand and to get into stores. And it's a cash system. And a lot of products never get into the marketplace that are even better because of that. And I have a better way. She said, what's the better way? I said, well, people hate to be sold and they love to buy. When you go to a store and a salesman comes up, you don't want to be bothered. Okay. You say, oh, yeah, I'm just waiting for my boyfriend or waiting for my wife or whatever. And, but if you know what you want what you want. You don't want to be sold or pressured or manipulated. So if we knew what everybody wanted and we had a database of what thousands of people wanted, we could go get it for them, bring it back to them, eliminate the shipping, the advertising, the branding, the store, the brick and mortar, and all of that at a better price and pay the people who led to the people in order to proliferate it throughout society. Well, she said, well, that makes a lot of sense. And I just didn't have the guts or probably the knowledge at the point to do it. It was a little bit scary. She said, why don't you just do it? It makes a lot of sense. So the bottom line is I was hesitating. She said, just forget it. Let's go to a movie. So we went to a movie, and that experience was what triggered the light bulb that started the company. Because I can't even remember what movie it was. I am not a good person to go to movies with. Andrew will tell you this. I hate to be scared or upset. And most movies get you scared or upset. right?
Yeah.
This movie didn't do that. I don't know what it was, Rocky II, Lock, Stock, and Barrel, something. It was, but I had a great time. I got caught up in the moment, and I couldn't wait to get home to tell people about it. So I would tell, I'd call people up and say, man, you wouldn't believe this movie we saw, da 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 da. They didn't act too impressed. Oh, that's wonderful. So what? Very happy for you. But the next week when they wanted to go to a movie, they went to the same movie. Think about this. They thought, wow, I'm going to go to that movie that JR was all excited about, effervescing about. And so they would go have the same experience and tell somebody else. People started calling me back about the movie. I said, you know what? This proves it. I'm going to try to track this. So I actually was set out, called the people that I called and said, listen, I need your help. I got a business idea and I need your help. If it works out, I'll cut you in on it. I didn't even know what I was going to cut them in on, nor neither did they, but they liked how it sounded. So they started helping me contact the people, and I tracked it to 240 people. I said, this proves it. It's trackable. If it's trackable, I can automate it, computerize it. And that's where we started. We actually, there was no internet at the point. I got 100 Commodore 64 computers and linked them up with dial-up modems, and people would ask their friends and customers or people what they wanted. We would aggregate the data and go get those items and provide them. And that's how the company basically started, and which where it led to the major stores. But the point is, that was one-to-one marketing, and that's what we're about, okay? Building a database of what customers want to buy and referrals and recommendations. And in that, we match products to people and people to products. It's not a concept where a company gets water filters or electronic devices or some magic potion and lotion and says that it will change the world and get people to buy closets full or basement fulls or garages full of product to move to other people. That's not what we are. And money is earned by actually tracking the sales and accumulate them rather than dumping product on people and then them having to find a way to move it. It's a total reverse. And we found out what people wanted, not what we need to sell them in order to make money, but what they want to buy. So it's market driven. So I hope that you're getting this. It's the reverse of those other concepts. And of course, to facilitate it, okay, we know people hate to be sold, but they love to buy. And when they find something that really works for them, or we solve a problem for them, like they have a knee that's, jammed and the OPC3 or the glucosa trim or whatever helps, relieve it, they become a believer and they talk about it and lead to other people. And so we have a digital tracking system in order to aggregate volume and to track what people buy and who they lead to so that we track their footprint. Nobody else has that. You just have to understand, nobody else has it. So customer to customer, to UFO to UFO, we're able to track the footprint of somebody, of everything that they buy or sell, and extract a piece of the margin out of the product from the manufacturer in order to give them a piece of the action, which accumulates into residual income. So, the shopping annuity uses collective buying power to drive prices down and to increase the share of the margin of the BV, IBV towards the residual income. So when you understand what I'm talking about, it's not MLM. Right, Andrew?
Exactly.
It's not what network marketing is.
Not at all.
So, the ultimate answer, though, is because, people have very short attention spans. They're not going to give you the time to explain everything, and so that when they mention that or you sense it, I tell them, I thought that it looked like one of those things at first, too, but I was totally wrong. And there's absolutely no levels here, so it's not multi-level. It's a digital tracking system, which I can show you later. But being that you brought it up, who do you know in one of those MLMs? And which one is it? Because we have to save them. They require so many people and so much volume, and they work so hard. And, a lot of them don't make that much. So can you get me their information and we can contact them, or you refer them and let me use your name, because it could mean some money to you. So, you know, and the bottom line is you have to be well-founded and seated on the concept and know that MA, Market America Unfranchised Binomial MPCP, is an internet marketing tracking system, not an MLM. So to do this, if you discover people like that, and the reason I bring it up, it happens a lot, because there's been a lot of people that have been through the mill in these things, okay? So to me, that spells opportunity. It doesn't spell, oh my God, it won't work, because people have been in those things. They've never seen the solution. So when you do discover them, you need a senior partner, executive sales team member to handle the person with you or for you. Don't try to do it on your own if you don't know what to say, if you haven't been through the manifesto course. Don't do it yourself. There's a precise way of handling them. And you don't want to mishandle something that could end up meaning a lot of money, a lot of success for them. You'll learn by seeing us do it, you know, the comparison. Actually, you know, we do an actual comparison mathematically and break down their plan and show them what would happen with the same volume of people in this plan. So we don't try to convert them or switch them at first. You're dealing with somebody's beliefs. You know, try to get somebody on that believes it's for one soccer team to switch to another soccer team and be a fan. It's not going to go over very big. Same thing with football or baseball, right? Exactly. Don't do that. You know, there's another way of going in the back door. So, and I teach it in the seminar to the top leaders, and they know how to do it. So why would someone confuse unfranchised business with MLM or network marketing? This is the question that I'm kind of putting back out there, okay? They're confused. The answer is they're confused. Is a family tree genealogy MLM? Everyone has one. Is it MLM, Andrew? No, I mean, does social media, friends and followers, the map of who connected to who, is that MLM?
No.
No. Okay, is a corporate organization chart MLM? No. So why do you say just because you see a chart that it's MLM?
Exactly.
Frankly, you're an idiot. You know, so you know, I mean, of course, I restrain myself when I don't say that, but it's very clear that I know what I'm talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. And so, do you know what MLM stands for or how it works? Let me help you out. But see, the clincher there is you obviously have run into this, been in one, or know somebody in it, and that could mean some money to you. Let us save them. Let's talk to them. And you wouldn't dare say that if this was one. Does that make sense? You see, so so why would someone confuse the unfranchised business with MLM or network marketing? It doesn't have or pay. See, the reason I'm going over this is first, you got to get it. It's got to be clear in your mind. But it doesn't have to or pay on levels. Multi-level marketing or distribution means multiple levels of distribution and pay levels. It usually involves, and think about that for a minute. What level are you on? Everybody's at the top and have an accumulation system here. And everybody gets 100% credit for anything that they lead to without dilution, meaning it gets less and less and less as it's passed on from person to person for a year. So that is not multi-level, okay? It usually involves redistributing product from one level to another. Do we redistribute product? You can if you want, because you know the customers, but generally everybody deals directly with the company and it's shipped directly to them and they're credited with the volume or the retail profit. So it usually involves redistributing product from one level to another. The higher the volume of successive levels combined, the higher the percent pay up to a cap number. So this encourages buying inventory or stockpiling, inventory loading to make a higher percentage. So if I want to make a higher percentage and I have Andrew, if I can get him to buy more, it'll move me up. So you get that pressure or that economic incentive to do what is called inventory loading, stockpiling, or buying inventory. And they may do it with good intentions to move it, but generally they don't, and then they buy it again the next month to hit the level. So those are where the nightmares come in, and the stories that we hear. But that doesn't exist here.
Exactly.
Okay, so one makes money off of the differential on their people in MLM. In other words, if Andrew does 500 and I'm at 2,500, and he's at 5% and I'm at 20%, I make 15% on him. So I make money off of him, okay, by him buying some product and not by it moving, and not by him making money. Whereas our system is designed to make sure that the product does move and people are making money. If they make money from in the system, then you make more money.
Mutual success.
Mutual success. So the more one makes, the less the upline makes on a stair-step scale. It's a negative incentive. So if Andrew starts moving up, I start making less as he starts making more. Okay, that doesn't exist here.
Not at all.
Okay, and MA binomial volume accumulates in just 2 channels or threads vertically until one gets paid 6 figures. You can't go outside. I can't go outside to somebody else. I got to build it through Andrew, and so does everybody else. So there's a compounding effect that accelerates it and ensures that we're not going to make it by going elsewhere. We're going to make it through our people. For every BDC, there's 2 legs, and you can't build outside of them. Yeah, later on you can re-enter, you can go to another leg, but it's still a basic concept of 2 legs. You build, and everybody else does, until that succeeds or earns money. Okay, so you get 100% credit on all volume without dilution on everyone for a full year. So it's not usually a matter of if you're going to get paid, but when you're going to get paid. And a year is a long time. Okay, so why would someone confuse this again with MLM or network marketing? MA's binomial system doesn't require sponsoring people horizontally in width to be profitable. They have to have a lot of people doing less than them because they're at 1% and they're at a lower percentage, and they make the difference. And the more you have, the more you'll make. So if I have Andrew, I have to get him to get 6 to 20 people, because if he doesn't, he won't stay in, even though I already have 6 to 20, because he's not making money. There's no vertical accumulation that causes everybody in each of those lines to make money on each other's effort and volume. Therefore, I have to have him go out and do the same thing. So when you think about that horizontal multiplication, and listen, it's not just true in multi-level or network marketing, it's true in real estate. You have to have in each agency a lot of agents. And then to be a successful real estate company, you need a lot of brokers or agencies. Same thing in insurance. You need a lot of salespeople that work for a broker. And same thing with franchise. You can't just have one franchise. You need many of them, and then master franchises. So horizontal profitability is necessary on each successive level. So if Andrew needs to get 6 to make a couple $1,000 that are people doing it, then each of them have to get 6, and each of them have to get 6, and each of them have to get 6. So you go on the average plan 5 levels, that's 46-some thousand people. So the result is it requires too much volume and too many people for any one individual to make money, and it's unrealistic. Yeah, there's superstars. There are some people that make it, okay? But industry, I mean, look, there's hedge fund guys that make millions. You can't do that, though. If you get my point, it's got to be realistic for the average person, because that's what the opportunity is based on. Okay, so industry statistics state that the average person can sponsor and keep in less than 3 people for more than a year, demonstrating that 2, which is what our business is built on, is realistic. But requiring 6 to 20 is unrealistic. An average person, then has a lower probability of making money or succeeding, because it's been proven that's not what the average person has shown that they're capable of doing. So why not make it based on what we know people are capable of doing? And then the probability of success goes way up. Okay, so that's eliminated in the binomial system. So why would someone confuse this again? All volume resets to 0. Now, you're not used to this. This is going to shock you if you don't understand other plans. At the end of the month, all the volume that was done, whether you got paid or not, resets to 0. So if you didn't make it, somebody above gets paid and you lose out. So all volume resets to 0 at the end of the month. So if one doesn't hit the pay threshold by the end of the month, they lose the volume. But we know in MA, the binomial system, the volume stays in the system for a year until one gets paid. The volume accrues to the next week and month until one gets paid. Now that's another interesting difference between us and them, okay? There are 4 pay cycles per month. Now, compared to 1 pay cycle for 99% of the companies, okay? They pay once a month and then they reset the volume to 0. So that's actually, when you figure it out on the average, 4.2 pay cycles or weeks per year. This allows a lower level UFO 4 chances or opportunities to get paid per month if they hit a level. But the latitude to accumulate the volume from week to week and month to month until they do get paid. It's not a question of whether they'll get paid. It's a question of when they'll get paid. Right. Okay, so the benefits, this benefits a higher UFO. Let's take the person that's a supervising or national or director. And the MLM system, they get paid once a month. Here they're getting paid weekly. They're doing enough volume to get paid weekly. They would lose 3 paychecks and only get 1 in the MLM thing versus 4 here. Ah, now it's getting juicy, isn't it? I mean, it's a simultaneous win-win for both the little guy and the big guy. It's a win-win. So we're out seeing. Why don't other companies have it? Because I went through this in my own life for many years and saw the repeated problems and the downside and the deficiencies. So when we made this program, I wanted to eliminate them all and make it the greatest program in the world. And that's what I believe. I think most of you believe that we have. So MLM pays on, thank you, Andrew, pays on a fixed number of levels. MLM pays on a fixed number of levels. Watch this zinger. Okay, you can call them tiers, levels, whatever you want to call them. Usually it's 3 levels to 6 levels. That's the norm. So if there's a leader or producer that comes in below the 3rd to 6th level, the payout level 3 to 6 in this example, you are the upline, okay, that's above 3 to 6 levels doesn't get anything because they're off your pay line. Of course, we search to infinity to find that volume. And if it goes way beyond where you're getting paid, you can always re-enter to get paid way beyond that. So this is a big one. Just imagine that. How many, you know the Market America business, at least in the binomial system. How many people have a great leader 10 levels down, 20 levels down, 5 levels down, that the volume generated comes up and causes their centers to qualify? In this system, the MLM system or networking system, most of them, you would not get credit for that. What a disappointment, huh? So some people are asking, well, why does anybody do it? That's what I'm asking. You need to save them. So in MA, the binomial, the MPCP tracks and searches to infinity for volume and people producing, and it compounds. Why does it compound? Because it keeps adding on top of what happened previous weeks, previous months, but everybody that comes in, their production is adding on top of it. So it compounds and gives credit and accrues until there's enough to get paid the maximum amount. So it doesn't go out of the system. Okay. There is a year limit. There's got to be a limit to everything, but that's plenty of time. So the UnFranchise is based on regenerated or repeat retail sales, and the tracking system and requirements facilitate it happening. That's a little sentence that has huge meaning. All the requirements and the retailing system and the tracking of that causes there to be regenerated volume. So it's not a one-time thing. It's happening over and over and over and over again, so that someone can almost predict their residual income and know that it's coming. So it actually is the antithesis, the opposite, the solution. And it solves the repeated problems of MLM and network marketing. What I did through having this own, getting in deeper than I could get out, leaving my field of biology as a scientist and not being, too late, I felt, to go to law school or back to medical school or, get a PhD. So I put my attention on what's wrong with it because it could be right. It made a lot of sense. It just was flawed. So we identified the repeating problems and addressed them and solved them with the binomial UnFranchise Business and MPCP tracking system. In the course that we teach, and I'll actually do some of it in the second and third session, we break that down for you and actually show it to you. So a much better analogy, if it's not MLM or network marketing, everybody in life likes to connect something new that they find out about to something they're already familiar with. That's the way the brain works. So, what's it like? What's it related to? What's it similar to? This is how human beings think. Okay, and that's why you run into the problem with the MLM network marketing thing, because they can't think of anything else that it might be like, so they attach it to that when it's totally wrong. So here's a way of handling that. Everybody today is familiar with social media. It's taken over, right? It permeates every level of life and communication and society. So it's well established, it's not questioned, and they get it. Would you agree with that?
Agree.
Okay, so let's take Facebook. It grows up. There's a lot of people that become involved in it. And how do they become involved in it? The same way the movie example happened. Okay, nobody defined their circle of friendship. It just happens. One person knows another, knows another, knows another, knows another. You don't know how you got your friends. It just happened. And what Facebook does is it provides a front end to communicate and show pictures and stories and posts, okay, of people that are connected to you and say that they're connected to you, right?
Yeah.
So what we do is the same thing. If you look at their chart or their diagram, because they have to have that diagrammed or digitally embedded into their computers, who are your friends and whose friends are their friends. Would you agree with that?
Yes.
So the UnFranchise Business is not an MLM, the same way that social media or Facebook is not MLM. Okay, the same way social media tracks friends and followers to promote and sell products through influencers. Isn't it funny that what started out being a guy trying to get girls in college actually turns into, Facebook, and they make money from advertising and moving product indirectly. But the same social media tracks friends and followers to promote and sell products through influencers and advertising. How do you think they make their money? The UnFranchise Business does the same, but listen to this now. It enables individuals who led to those people to earn a residual income. Yes, we reorganize the referral threads or the relationship threads or the friends threads chronologically in the order that they came in a binomial system, because they make more money this way, okay? And so we're able to do that. So social media is a network. Yes or no?
Yes.
It is a network, but it's not considered MLM or networking. Why? Because it's a tracking system. Okay, it's a connecting system. And that's what we are. But they don't have what we have. See, social media is actually social commerce with Market America's MPCP and UnFranchise. The similarity is that both social media, Market America, or shop.com track and connect people and their footprint. That's an important word, their footprint to who they lead to. Okay, so everybody has a footprint in social media. So the diagrams of social network and Market America UFO organization or UnFranchise Business look similar or the same to a social media network, except Market America simplifies it into a binary system. We break it apart and reorganize it into 2 referral threads chronologically in order to pay everyone the maximum on what the people they lead to sell or buy, and give everyone in that line, that thread, 100% credit without dilution to infinity for 1 year, and convert a piece of the margin into a social currency, which is BV or IBV, accumulated it by the MPCP financial vehicle, which pays a residual income to UFO. So in social media, the influencers are making money. Companies have their social media tied to their e-commerce site, right? And Facebook and IG all will identify profiles of people that would be interested in the type of product that you want to advertise for. So they all turn it into commerce. But you, the people that lead to the people, get nothing.
Exactly.
And that's the difference. So the point is that social media has a similar system to track you and your friends or followers into a database and network that can be diagrammed or mapped out, just like your organization, just like your group. So it looks like MLM, but it isn't, right?
Right.
Look, make them answer. Neither is Market America. Okay. Our tracking system is like social media, but it also tracks what everyone buys and is able to pay residual income on the accumulated volume from you and your footprint. Now, that's pretty miraculous. Now it's getting interesting, isn't it? You see, so when someone thinks, is it one of those things, or you even think that they think that, address it, neutralize it, turn it around, leverage it. And here's how. Social media analogy or parallel and example is very easy for you to do, even with little knowledge. Does that make sense? Okay. The technology maps or connects followers and friends and contacts, right? Isn't that what social media does? Isn't that what it is? Right? Right. Make them answer. This is a digital connection and back end. Each of these have a digital connection and back end that maps it out, connecting people and profiles in a network diagram like a family tree or database, right?
Right.
Right. Okay. And there's a front end or platform that people post and communicate on and share information or stories, right?
Right.
Right. Now, see, the Market America front end is the products, right? Their front end is the people. Our back end is the people and who they connect to. And then we're able to extract what they buy or what they sell and turn that into income. So it looks like this, right? See the picture down at the bottom? Right. It's a network, but not MLM, right?
Right.
Right. And the reason I make them answer is that's the same type of diagram that they were accusing Market America of being MLM for. So who wins? So friends or followers, contacts on social media is the same type of tracking system that we use in Market America. Influencers make big money today by promoting products on IG or Facebook, by accessing their network of followers and recommending a product for people to buy. Right?
Right.
Right. They get paid for that. Companies have social media sites. They promote products and services and link it to their e-commerce site where it can be bought. Right? Right. Okay. You can access or search profiles and define targeted advertising on social media like Facebook and IG, and they sell you advertising where the seller or social media makes money, right?
Right.
Right. But those individuals who had the following that led to the people, okay, or had the relationships, made nothing, right?
Right.
Right. So here's the difference with Market America, okay? Well, what MarketAmericanShop.com have is a technology platform like social media that tracks your relationships and footprint, just like social media does. But with your permission, can track everything that you buy, spend money on, or sell, all while accumulating the volume on you and your footprint of everyone that you lead to, directly or indirectly. And they extract a piece of the profit or margin on every brand or supplier. And you plus everyone that you lead to gets paid a residual income. It's like your spending yields a return. It's so cool. Do you want to see how it works? There you go. That's the pitch. Can you do that?
Of course.
I think you can learn it, right? So this image kind of shows the reality of what's happening. This is to create an impression. I mean, you got a network, which could be Facebook or could be your network of friends that are put into the Market America system. But everybody is also buying stuff. So we have attached to that an e-commerce function that tracks not only the relationship, but what they buy. And so the company tracks the products people buy and all the referrals that are a result of word of mouth referrals. And we have that data, including you and your customers friends and your friends and your friends' referrals, et cetera. It connects customer to customer to customer to UFO to UFO to UFO. It is captured by the referral tracking system, and everyone gets credit and earns the most money possible through the MPCP, the way it's structured. So, you know, again, this kind of pictures it for you, that just like Facebook, it could be Facebook or it could be Market America. People lead to people, know to people, have relationships. Both social media and Market America track and connect people to their footprint of who they lead to. But here in the back end, we have an e-commerce function where they're able to order anything that they need. And of course, there's products that we promote, just like influencers or advertisers, that people recommend them personally in the network because it's working for them. So that, you know, comes together in deriving an income. It's just making sense. So it's very organic or natural. People know people know people. This is how social media works. This is how Market America works. We don't really know how they're connected, okay? But when they become involved in this, we organize it into the maximum profitable system of two, because we can pay, whoops, I didn't mean for that to disappear. I guess I lost it. Okay, it's okay. But what that slide just did was reorganize the circles of friendship that connect and spread very quickly into two sets of two under BDCs, or the binomial system, so that we can maximize the profit. So the original genesis of my idea was the movie story, led to one-to-one marketing, matching products to people and people to products, computerized marketing, and you need to know the explanation of that. The ability to have information on people and to customize offers, digital tracking and aggregation, the things that the most people want, we'll be able to provide, and everybody will get credit for. And of course, that leads to the shopping annuity. So we know people hate to be sold, but they love to buy. So we find out what they want, what they need, or a problem that they're having, and offer a solution. It's greatly, demonstrated with things like motives, with things like TLS, with things like our, isotonics nutritional products. It spreads, and people beat the door down for them because they work and they get results and they love them. So the whole movie story on how Market America and UnFranchise got started is really the foundation of the company. That's what caused the spark to go off to start doing what we do. So people hate to be sold, they love to buy. We match products to people and people to products. We customize, we just don't find something that would be profitable and say, let's sell this. No, we find out what people are buying, what people want, what people need, and introduce those products, and then it spreads. So we customize the front page of shop.com with offers that match the customer profile, their interests, and buying habits. So it's all about getting share of customers. How many things can I provide people that I know? Instead of them going to brick and mortar or the store, we can provide it to them, have it shipped directly to them, okay, and they get credit for it, then they lead to people. So the movie example is, have you ever been to a great movie? This is a great story to tell. And this is how we actually, you know, how the genesis of this company actually was sparked. So remember the last time you saw a great movie? Did you share the experience? Did you tell anyone about it? Now tell the truth. When you got home, did you tell people? The next day at work, did you tell people? Most people do. And of course you did. And they loved hearing about it. Now they might not say, oh man, that's great, I'm going to go to that movie. They might say, oh, that's nice or whatever. But it's embedded in their mind. And next time they want to go to a movie, they think about what you told them. So chances are that some of the people that you told went to see the movie, and in fact, they probably liked it as much, and they in turn told other people about it. So that's spreading. So the end of the month, there may have been 50 to 100 or more people that went to see the movie, and if you posted it on social media and blogs and talked about it, it could have reached 300 to 1,000. In fact, in our tracking, that's what happened. So the movie theater and production company developed all that business because you referred people, and many other people like you did the same to others who referred others. And when I looked up what they spent to promote that movie, I said to Lauren, do you realize what I could do with that $20 million in paying people? But did the movie theater send you a check?
Nope.
No. But influencers get checks in social media. Okay. Did the movie production company compensate you for all the referral business?
Nope.
Nope. So this brings us to what we are. We have a system and we have the software, then we can track the referrals of people leading to people very naturally, very organically. In fact, we have been doing this for over 28 years for our unfranchised organizations. No other company or website can match the power of this program, period. That's what you got in your hands. So it's not multi-level. It's a diabolic opposite of it. Yes, there is a very natural, organic, people leading to people, organized down two lines to maximize the profitability, to increase the probability of getting paid and of having income, and to develop a cooperation or mutual teamwork where everybody succeeds together. And it's the opposite of the other things. So this is a great chart to go down because it identifies some of the specifics of what's different. One is vertical marketing, others horizontal marketing. Okay, two personally sponsored groups working in cooperation in the system can add additional BDCs under these teams, doubling, tripling, multiplying profitability for yourself, but they get credit too. So the other ones, there's no cooperation. You must build all 20 in competition. It's an antagonistic behavior, width versus depth. Width is profitability, depth is security. You got to do it 10 or 20 times, and everybody's working against each other. The profitability and stability and security is accomplished simultaneously and duplicates at the same time, and the whole methodology is synergistic. Whereas in the other, you have to do each one at a time and then build the depth. So these 9 or 8 points comparatively, I think, pretty well define the difference. You know, the volume disappearing at the end of the month. 100% volume accrues weekly for up to a year, whereas theirs doesn't. So this kind of separates them, doesn't it? It really defines their night and day, opposite sides of a coin. So the big reason MA is different and not MLM, you need to learn these and be able to spit them out. You have to be on solid foundation. At some point, you have to be factual. And so when you know this, and I'm providing it to you, and can speak to it, it's like learning the themes in, prospecting or and learning how to dance with them. When you know that, you really get good. So is it MLM or networking? Are you kidding me? Those things are antiquated and old, and we're not. We have one of the most revolutionary tracking systems that's able to pay people residual income based on what they sell or what they buy. We have 19 or 18 multi-billion-dollar market cap consumable product lines of our own and tens of thousands of other brands. So, we have no levels. There cannot be multi-level marketing when you don't have any levels. We ship directly to the customer and we do not redistribute products. You see, these are big points. It's vertical, not horizontal. Am I out of time?
Yes, sir.
Why didn't you tell me? Okay.
Okay.
What slide am I on? 33. Okay, so Dana wins the bet again.
This might be a nice time to wind it down.
Yeah. Okay, so look, guys, the way this goes, I'm just going to show you a few slides. It goes, and then I talk about, I'll give you a slammer. Being that they're insulting you, okay, there's a big difference between primates, a human being, a chimpanzee, and they're all primates. You came from outer space. You may confuse them not knowing that one is intelligent. They all have two legs. So we'll go into this and how to use it. It's a great conversational piece to make a joke out of it and to kind of mess with their mind. And we'll show you more. But the point is that we're really going to empower you with what you need to be strong. And at the end of the day, we're going to show you how this is a total opposite. People say, oh, is it one of them pyramid things? I say, oh, you must mean a Demerite. What do you mean a Demerite? Okay, well, you said pyramid. This is the opposite of one. Everything works in the reverse. So we're going to have a lot of fun. Are you having fun?
Yeah.
And there's nothing better than when you believe and know how to do the evaluation technique, evaluation method, into qualifying people, into the trial run, into the ABC pattern, and you are armed and ready with this information so that when it comes up, you're able to handle it confidently. You go home, on the way home or after you get off Zoom, you just kind of chuckle. Man, am I good. And that's what's going to happen. We're doing it together.
Yes.
Please send in your questions, things that you are baffled over or stumble over, because we want to help you. I hope this is becoming a relationship where I'm the teacher that you love the most in the university. In other words, we all had great teachers when we went through school. You can remember ones that made a difference. I want to make a difference for you. So you attend the class, send us in your questions, and we'll make it happen. God bless you. I hope you had a good time.